us in the dark. Over time, people don't like it. I think when the public looks at a politician whose lips are moving, they figure that politician is lying.
Absolutely.
And I'm a citizen myself. And when people come to tell me about what they want to do and why they want to be elected, I always say to them, what have you done in your life?
All right, that's Kasich. And here is the first part of Ted Cruz. Cruz goes last, and this is what it sounded like at the beginning of Cruz's speech. Totally normal.
The heart of our economy is not Washington, D.C. The heart of our economy is small businesses all across the United States of America. And if you want to see the economy take off, it's very simple. You lift the boot of the federal government off the back of the necks of small businesses.
All right.
If I'm elected president.
Okay. So we've established that the circumstances for all three, perfectly fine. You could hear them each equally as well. They were all being listened to. And then, magically, remember, my face is down. I'm looking and I'm reading something on my iPad Pro, and my room goes berserk with audio that's twice as loud as any of the speech audio was. And it turned out it was somebody giving Ted Cruz a taste of New York values.
If we remain divided, we will lose. And so I recognize many of the people in this room started out supporting another candidate. Maybe you started out supporting Ted Cruz. Maybe you started out supporting Marco Rubio or Scott Walker or any of the fantastic candidates who began.
Okay, now stop it. That is how the final 8 minutes of Ted Cruz's speech sounded. You couldn't hear him. They turned the podium mic off. Somebody turned the podium mic off and turned on all the other microphones in the room to pick up all the room noise. And then there were tweets like this one. It's sort of painful to watch someone speak passionately to a crowd who wouldn't even notice if he killed himself on stage. I mean, the media was in on this trick. Fox News was in on the trick. Everybody, they played along as though all of a sudden Cruz lost the room. Now, Mike, here's what I want you to do. I want you to grab soundbite number 3. It's going to be tight. Yeah. Grab soundbite number 3, and just as soon as it ends, start number 4.
The heart of our economy is not Washington, D.C. The heart of our economy is small businesses all across the United States of America. And if you want to see the economy take off, it's very simple. You lift the boot of the federal government off the back of the necks of small businesses. If I'm elected president, we will repeal every word of Obamacare. If we remain divided, we will lose. And so I recognize many of the people in this room started out supporting another candidate. Maybe you started out supporting Ted Cruz. Maybe you started out supporting Marco Rubio or Scott Walker or any of the fantastic candidates who began this race. And yet it didn't want those candidates that long.
And I expected all hell to break loose. I expected there to be outrage from pro-Cruz people over how he had been sabotaged, double dirty tricked, whatever it was. There was nothing. All there was a bunch of media people talking about how disrespectful Cruz was, and people got tired of listening to him and got up and started walking around and making all this noise. And it's just, even today, everybody continues. Nobody cared about Cruz. It was so boring. Poor guy. Noise changes, and by the way, the noise in the second bite, the room noise, when you're watching TV, it was twice as loud as the audio of the speeches from the podium. Here we go.
The heart of our economy is not Washington, D.C.
Perfectly normal.
The heart of our economy is small businesses all across the United States of America.
No problems at all. Here, people. Applause. Here, they're
And
listening.
if you want to see the economy take off, it's very simple. You lift the boot of the federal government off the back of the necks of small businesses. If I'm elected president, we will repeal every word of Obamacare. If we remain divided, we will lose. And so I recognize many of the people in this room started out supporting another candidate. Maybe you started out supporting Ted Cruz. Maybe you started out supporting Marco Rubio or Scott Walker or
That is not how it sounded in the room. It only sounded that way on TV. In the room, all was normal. There wouldn't have been any perceived difference. You're watching on TV, that was all you heard. And you would think, okay, something's happened. There's an audio glitch somewhere. But it went on for 5 or 8 minutes, and they never fixed it. It just continued. And finally, they bumped out of it. They went in, and the next thing you saw was Sean Hannity saying, sorry, audio problems. We want to welcome Eric Bolling. Eric, what is a great guy like Corey Lewandowski doing tonight? And that was not even addressed. So